Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Pegasisters Live.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. We have a lot of people here, like, specifically to hear from you.
Really? That's kind of... Oh, God. I'm not even paying attention to your chat or your stream, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I was just tuning into the chatty box. I call it the chatty box, actually. I believe Dusty came to hear you. I see.
Oh, of course he did.
Of course he did. Dusty is amazing. I saw Paleo in here, Solrex in here waiting for you. Got a bunch of people who want to hear from you.
Well, Solarat can't yell at me, so I guess I'm safe for now.
For now. He'll
Well,
be at BronyCon with me, and he'll yell at you then.
he's so soft-spoken in person.
I know, he actually really is.
And he gives excellent hugs, that man.
I agree, definitely. Very good hugs and
hmm
stuff.
hmm
Yeah, and Acoustic Brony also says hi too.
Oh, well, hello there. Which one of them? That's the question, because it's a pseudonym for that encompasses two individuals. That's why it's tricky.
Ed?
Ed. Ed. Ed, 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 Ed.
Ed, 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 ed.
Edit it. How many times can you say it quickly? See, now you
He
now
can
you
go
just
on forever.
well, you just sound like a motorcycle. You go. Congratulations, congratulations, Ed. You're a motorcycle.
Oh my gosh, we should do like fan art of Acoustic Brony's OC. Like we have his OC on a motorcycle.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, can
And
someone make that?
and the motorcycle's just going.
Oh my god. I would love that. Someone said I could repair them. Oh my. Okay guys, I'm waiting for the fan art right now. Do it.
Okay, go.
Go.
Come on, it doesn't take much time to do fan art, right? I mean, that's just like you think it, you can do it, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. Like it's like instantly after the show, I expect fan art, and I will put it on my Facebook so you can see it, and I'll tag you in it.
Beautiful. I love it. You should tag Ed too,
Yes,
obviously.
of course I'll tag it in it.
Ed. Wait before he's gonna change his Facebook name right now. I bet it. He's gonna be Ed.
Oh my god, I'm gonna watch. Ed, if you're tuning in, and I know you are, I'm expecting you to change your Facebook name right now to Ed. Got it? Or just put like a few D's on there. Everyone's so confused. They're like, what?
What happened? Did I miss something already? He's only been here for like 2 minutes.
And everyone just keeps typing ed into the chatty box. Oh my god. And Ed just said he'll see if he can.
Good. We're off to a rousing start then.
Agreed. Definitely. So, okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna ask you some questions, and then afterwards I'll let the chatty box ask you questions. Does that sound good?
Okay. That sounds good to me. I'm just gonna put on my Tumblr right now that I'm on everfree.net and people should come by. So hopefully there'll be a nice little bump of people. I mean,
Yeah.
one would hope anyway.
I am not following you on Tumblr. I didn't know you had Tumblr.
That's okay. It's useless, really. Ask anyone in the room who's following me. If Paleo's there, he'll tell you that it's mostly just a bunch of useless crap.
No, that's how I am too. I basically get on there to retweet like really dumb things.
hmm I follow like car blogs and like
Oh my.
cars blogs that post like mostly naked chicks and
Oh my.
blogs that post synthesizers and a lot of my friends I follow as well. So it's kind of an amalgamation of just all of those like this like dumb, like obviously pandering to my gender type things, and then like really just a bunch of nonsense. So
That's amazing. I'm gonna follow you just so I can see this nonsense.
all right, follow at your own risk. It is classified NSFW just in case.
Alright, if you follow me back too, you'll just basically all you'll see is just like really stupid pictures of like kittens with captions and
Perfect.
yes, I know, right? And like little Disney gifs with like quotes on them. That's basically what I do. I just kind of mess around and do that kind of stuff.
Solid. Hold on. Here we go. The one thing I don't have yet, lamentably, is a Twitter. I've been kind of waiting for that moment when I get a smartphone when I can like be that guy who's like got the Twitter account like, I am at Target with hashtag individual, and that's just the tweet. I can be that guy.
Yeah, you can, because I think regardless of whatever you tweet, you're going to get a bunch of followers.
Oh my god, I love Target.
Oh my god, Target, like, you're gonna get like 50 replies just about Target.
Yeah, unfortunately, which is kind of also why I'm afraid of it.
I understand. I actually have done that before. Like, I tweeted, just like, I could tweet absolutely anything and people are going to reply to me. And
Yep.
I got like 30 replies. Like, that's just because we love you. And I'm like, I could tweet pudding and I'll probably get like 20 retweets. I'm gonna do it actually tonight. I'll
All
tweet
right.
pudding.
All right. I am at computer with hashtag.
With
That,
computer hashtag.
yeah. I am at hashtag computer.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. People are like, oh my god, I'm at my computer too.
Oh my god, we have so much in common. Amazing. So, okay, I'm gonna get started with some questions. So,
Sure, by all means.
yeah, totally. So, when did you join the fandom?
Well, it's kind of a complicated story, to be perfectly honest with you, because I started watching the show in January 2011, kind of when we were in the middle of the first season, and I was sort of aware that there was like a fandom going on at the time, but I kind of made a conscious effort to avoid it because I
Okay.
mean, you know, I've been around fandoms before, and I was just kind of like, all right, well that's neat. I guess I downloaded some fan art, but that was really about the extent of it. Um, I think I remember the day that um, Not a Clever Pony had come out with for the new Lunar Republic. I remember that day actually because I was like, oh man, there's fan music now. That's new. I haven't heard of that before.
Mhm.
And so probably wasn't until it got that I had to start like well, I don't know. I found My Little Remix at some point. I think it was probably September of that year, 2011. And it had been a while since I'd been doing any music production. I thought, like, all right, well, there's obviously a culture of fan music, and this is where they hang out, and I'll just go in there and I'll ask a lot of questions and soak up some knowledge because it seemed like they know what they're talking about. And I think I wasn't someone who, like, made the conscious decision to join the fandom. I sort of had it thrust upon me at some point. I think I was just sort of,
Oh.
like, in there. I was making some stuff. People seemed to like it. And then all of a sudden, people on YouTube started noticing, and I just kind of, like, out of obligation had to start paying attention to what was going on. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have any idea. Even now, though, I'm not particularly involved. It's just sort of something that I kind of keep my finger on the pulse of. But otherwise, I'm not particularly the goings. I mean, the goings on of the inner politics of fan stuff is not something I pay attention to any remarkable extent. So, I mean, it's hard to say exactly when I joined, but I think if you wanted to put a date on when things sort of shifted, I could say September 2011 is pretty definitive. The moment when things sort of started changing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Twinsies. I joined in August of 2011.
Boom.
So close. Oh my goodness.
Yep, you got me beat though. Technically, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I guess so. It's not too long, but it was around like the end of August. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
All right. So how long have you been playing music?
I think probably since I exited the womb, to be perfectly honest. I mean, ever since there's been a keyboard in front of me, I've just been finding ways to play it. You know, my earliest memories involve keyboards, and because my parents were musicians when I was growing up, they had a studio in our basement all throughout my childhood,
Oh
and
wow.
my mother's a professional singer, and my grandma was a musician, and my great grandfather played trumpet in the Navy, so it kind of runs in the family. So, I mean, as long as I can remember, there have been instruments around, and that's something. It's just always. There's actually a picture of me somewhere. I'm probably like 5 or 6 years old. And I have a little keyboard set up on blocks. It's pretending to have a recording studio, like a Fisher tape, with like a Fisher Price tape recorder, like a microphone taped to the speaker of the keyboard, thinking I was like, really, really cool. I was like, 4 or 5 years old. So, I mean, there's never. That's something I can't give you a definitive date on because it's just always been around.
Oh
So.
yeah. That's kind of adorable.
Mhm.
Oh my
Well,
god.
if you say so.
I'd say so. Like a little kid walking. Oh my god. I think it's cute. Like, what kind of
All right.
instruments do you know how to play? But like, do you know how to play like anything specific?
Not really. No, I just have my keyboards, and I mean, if I sat down in front of a piano, I could play it competently, I suppose. But I can't really read a staff, and then I can kind of play guitar a little bit, but I'm not. I don't really consider myself much of an instrument person or musician, even really. I'm sort of just a producer, which is I'm most at home, sort of in a studio environment. So I mean, it's to put me in front of an actual instrument and sort of like in an ensemble setting, it'd be a little bit beyond me to really figure my way. I could probably muddle my way through it, but it's kind of not really what I'm about. So
Yeah, I definitely feel like kind of new to you. Like,
I mean, I'm sure it's at some point I can really just sit down and like learn it and take a bunch of time, like half a year, and just try to like rehearse and practice and get good at it, and actually like play things and be able to like be a part of a band, quote unquote. But it's really not what I've ever been interested in. So
yeah, no, I understand.
mhm.
All right, so what inspires you for like different songs?
Oh gosh, um, that's kind of a loaded question because um, there's always something that inspires me, but it comes from many different sources, and sometimes it's cathartic. Sometimes I have a feeling, an emotion that I need to like get out or release. I need to have like something just kind of. I need to like get energy moving, and sometimes I'll just. I mean, sometimes I can just hear something in my head. It'll just be running around, and I just sort of like my job at that point is just sort of transcribing what I hear in my head part by part and putting it into my software, putting it into words, whatever. It's there's always that, which happens sometimes, I suppose. And then there's always the way sometimes I'll just be playing around on an instrument, on a synth or whatever, and I'll hear a sound that I like, and I'll kind of explore the sonic properties of it and come across something that I think sounds good and incorporate that into something. So there really isn't like a definitive pathology to how it evolves or comes to be. It just sort of I don't know. I can't really explain my creative devices. If I had a firm grasp on what my creative MO was, I could replicate it easily and quickly on a repeat basis. So I could be like, all right, this clearly worked for this, and I'm just going to do that over and over again. And
Oh yeah, that'd be hard.
maybe that's a trick I'll learn someday, but not today. So it just kind of it happens whenever it happens. It's really organic, and I can't control it.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
it's kind of nice. It brings different variety when when you have different influences from different areas.
Yeah, I mean, there's no definitive way to really pin down what it is that inspires me to do it. I mean, putting things within the context of the show certainly doesn't hurt because it gives me something more definitive to cling to. But I mean, that it's also kind of a nice exercise in that sense too, since sort of restrained to a certain context instead of being all pretentious and open and stuff. So
hmm
anyway,
Anyway, so
mhm.
do you have a favorite Brony musician?
A favorite musician.
Don't mind that they're listening.
I know, really, it's like don't mind that probably some of them are paying attention.
They're gonna be
Well,
like, hmm.
it's tough to say because I feel like there are very few of them that are like exclusively Brony musicians now. But I mean, I've well, I mean, first and foremost, one of the first people I ever discovered was Glaze. So he's high on my list of people whose work I will always pay attention to. Um, I'd say Zako is a good friend of mine, and I love everything he does.
hmm
Replacer as well is someone I don't know how he comes up with what he comes up with, but it's so musically complex and interesting to listen to. Um, I don't know. I can't pick like an absolute favorite. I can only just kind of like have a couple off the tip of my tongue that are people that I really, really like.
Yeah,
Um,
that's understandable.
it's because I don't want to play favorites either, because that would just be me.
They're all gonna listen like, hmm. I know I'm secretly his favorite, but he just doesn't want to hurt others'
I know.
feelings.
Well, there are very few people I've encountered where I've like said like, oh God, that's just awful. I don't ever want to associate with that person. It's just not the case. Um, it's just personal taste on my part because it's not like my disliking or not favoring someone means I think their work is awful. It's just there's a lot. I have just very peculiar taste, so it sort of has to strike me. Oh, Aviators as well. I suppose I should throw on the list because
Oh
I think
yeah.
he should do more future pop. I'm not sure what he's doing now, but I think he needs to do more old school EBM because he's got the voice for it. But that's just me.
Yeah, I like aviators a lot too.
hmm I,
Did you get?
I haven't heard much of him lately. I've always liked him as a person as well, but I think he's a pretty busy guy.
Yeah, he definitely seemed pretty busy at a Las Pegasus.
Oh
Everyone
God,
kept
well,
stopping him.
he's quiet too in person.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was kind of shy too. I just kind of stood behind Slorak while he was talking to him.
Well, at BronyCon there was a moment when I kind of I missed there was like this big musician kind of hangout and like I kind of was like late because I was talking to some people and so like they all went to get like really expensive Chinese food and I missed out on this and so did a couple other people too. So I think it was like me and Fenning and Aviators and then Paleo was with us and I think I don't and someone else was with us too. And no, I think maybe Sean, maybe Zonk was with us, and we all ended up going to Burger King instead, right across the little walkway there. And so like then I just ended up sitting next to Aviator. He's like just real quiet, and he's like, and he kind of silently confessed to me. He's like, "Hey, man, you should give me some fashion advice because you actually you're like dressed like a musician. I feel like a bum." And I'm like, "Tight pants, man. That's all it takes."
Oh my.
So
Is it all in
that's
the
all.
tight pants? Just
It's
gotta...
it's clearly all in the tight pants. The secret is pants that are meant for girls.
Oh my god. Not even I wear tight pants. I wear
Well,
like lazy I just wear like leggings and sweatpants. I know that's so unattractive, guys.
it's okay. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I kind of like lazy sweatpants and stuff on girls. I mean, my girlfriend can tell you this. I'm like, when she wears sweatpants, I'm like, well, hello.
Oh my.
I see you're wearing sweatpants tonight. And then she goes, shut up.
When did you like meet your girlfriend?
We've been together for 3.5 years.
Oh my goodness. Is she a brony?
Um, More or less. I mean, we discovered the show together, and I think she was just as shocked as I was to discover there was like this huge community around it. I mean, like we kind of knew that it was like this sort of underground internet thing that started on 4chan, and we just thought it was like this great big joke. You know, like, oh, that's so funny. There are all these like nerdy guys that think this show is cool, and then like we come along like, um, from where we were in January, and then we find where things are in September. We're kind of like, holy crap, this is turning into something.
Yeah,
So
it's a really big thing now.
I mean, she's gonna come with me to BronyCon, so I mean, I don't. She's not like a huge like. She's not into the community, doesn't follow the fandom, isn't like a religious devotee to the show. But I mean, she's gonna come with me just because I want to like be like, all right, sweetie, this is what it's all about. Take it or leave it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be really cool. Will this be her first brony convention?
Yeah. First and probably only. I don't know, unless she like really really likes it. I mean, she and I have both gone to lots of conventions before, and I mean, I don't really travel the PonyCon circuit because there are so many other great conventions that happen here in Minneapolis we'd both go to. So like we're going to this huge sci-fi convention in okay, I'll remember the date eventually when it comes to me, but it's a huge sci-fi convention and it is coming at some point this summer.
It's sometime.
And a couple anime conventions, I think actually what the crap is his name? Who does Fry's voice in Futurama? He's coming to a con we have here in September.
Well, that's neat.
So we have lots of conventions that happen here. We go to with all of our friends. And for me, the fun of being at a con is just like wasting a bunch of time with all your friends. I mean, I don't think I went to any more than like one panel at BronyCon last year. So
Yeah, I think that's honestly like, same position. Like definitely whenever me and Sandra and I kind of go, we really don't go to any panels, and that sounds like really bad because we pay all this money to go, but we just want to hang out and see everyone.
I mean, and the thing is, oh yes, and someone in the chat said Billy West. That's who I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay.
So
Thank
anyway,
you, Random Pony. That's his name on there.
yes. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, conventions for me are just about, especially like when it's one like this where you cross country to see all these internet friends, get to see every day. For me, the fun is just kind of like a meeting with individuals that you share a connection and share a bond with, and that's always that was what was fun about BronyCon last year. Well, a lot of things made that con fun, but that was number one. Is seeing all these people that had never actually met before, but that I had met before. If I mean, you know what that's like. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like you meet someone you like kind of knew on the internet, and you're like, oh man, Brony, I know you from somewhere. I've seen
Right.
your music or I've watched your video. It's like a really cool feeling, honestly.
Well, also, I mean, that's when I was shadowing a living tombstone for a while. I had to escort him away from the main convention to go somewhere else, and we couldn't make it more than 10 or 15 feet without someone pointing him out, going, "Hey, you're that guy."
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What
we
happened?
well, okay. Well, I was walking with the living tombstone with two, and I had a rental car for the weekend, and I was going to drive him from the convention itself and the convention proper, and like take him from where we were to where a bunch of the musicians were just going to meet up and hang out for the rest of the evening. And we couldn't really go anywhere because the moment we'd start walking somewhere, someone would say, "Hey, you're the Living Tombstone. Will you sign this thing for me?" And it's like, it's kind of funny when that happens because on the one hand, like, it's super flattering. On the other hand, it's also like kind of weird. And then if you have a third hand, it's also kind of like strange and awkward. But whatever, we roll with it. So I mean,
No, yeah, definitely. I know what you mean. I didn't get stopped. I mean, obviously, I don't get stopped too often, but I know Sorak kept getting stopped. We're like trying to get to the restaurant, stopping again.
yep,
It's like, oh my gosh, you stopped so many times. I feel like half the convention is stopping to talk to someone.
yes. I mean, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
super fun. So I mean, it's always, especially when people can like hold a conversation with you. I had this one girl come up to me. Like a friend of a friend. I think she's a friend of Final Drafts,
Oh
and
yeah.
she's like, I love Depeche Mode so much, and I love that you love them. And I'm like, thank you, and I'm like, I can't wait for them to go on tour next year. And then we had this conversation that had nothing to do with what was going on at the convention, and that's great. I love that because I'm like, all right, we have commonalities. And that's good. So
Yeah, you can actually like hold a conversation. Have you ever had someone where they just kind of go up to you and they're like, "Hi, I like your music," and then they just kind of stare at you?
a little bit. My only experience with this would have been at BronyCon last year because I haven't been to any other conventions,
Hmm.
and I don't really travel much, and I'm kind of a recluse. So this is the first interview I've probably done in about a year,
Oh my goodness.
if that puts it in perspective. So, um,
Well, I'm
but
honored. Thank
you
you.
yeah, I like you. You're fun, so that's
Oh my
fine with me.
gosh.
Wait, well, okay, 'cause I do get random strangers who ask me, and I'm like, "Who are you? What network are you from? And do I know you? And what are we going to talk about?" And it's difficult for me to do an interview with someone I don't trust,
Hmm.
because I want to feel like I'm actually going to like you know be talked to like a person instead of like, "Oh, oh man."
You are the god of gods.
I know, and I've also just had bad interviews where like the guy was like eating a pizza while he was like interviewing me, and I'm like, this is, yeah, let's not do this one again.
My.
So,
Very classy.
anyway, so like that does happen. People are just like, "Oh, you're so cool," and I always try to just be very polite, like, thank you for saying that. It was really nice to meet you, because I mean, I don't want to. I'm not a mean person. I can't like just like say no to someone and like be a jerk. That's not at all what I want to do. I mean, sometimes I do have to go do things. I might be kind of like, I might be a tiny bit standoffish, not because I want to be mean, but because I really do need to go somewhere. And as much as I'd love to like stay and chat, I do have places to be sometimes. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, that does happen too.
Yeah,
And
definitely. No, I understand. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go to my next question. I got like totally off. Got
that's
totally
fine.
confused for a second. It's okay.
I'm
Um.
kind of a chatterbox, so I'll apologize in advance that I just like to ramble and go off on tangents. I
Oh
hope I
no,
hope you
not
don't
at
have
all.
too stringent of a time limit.
Oh no, 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 not at all. It's pretty free willed, honestly. We can kind of go for as long as we really want.
Mhm. Well, my girlfriend and my roommate and my sister are all here upstairs. They're all playing Portal, so I mean, like at some point I will have to reappear back up into my living room. But this is a nice little diversion. So
Do you like Portal?
I do. I played the first one a couple of times. I have the second one. Haven't played it very much, but I'd really like to, just because I dig the whole. See, I think for me, I'm not a gamer, and so
Hmm.
I like games with minimal commitment. And the first Portal's great because you can play through it in 4 hours. The second Portal
Yeah,
would probably take me a couple of days, and so
it's longer.
I'm kind of intimidated by games that require a lot of commitment. So like my favorite kind of games are racing games because I can go in and play a race or two and be done.
Exactly, yeah, like just like Mario Kart, just jump on in and get out whenever you want.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a copy of Mario Kart anymore. I should get one.
Oh,
My
no.
living room, the only two consoles in my living room, my N64 and my Xbox 360. My other consoles are kind of tucked away. So,
Oh my gosh. Okay, what's your favorite game on the N64?
that's a tough one because I have some really obscure games.
Oh no, me too. I love
I
the N64. It's my favorite console.
I like you already. Um, Rush 2049. You ever play that one?
Yes?
Okay, that's probably my favorite game on the N64. I mean, up there with maybe GoldenEye. Those are the two I play the most frequently. Um, Now, actually, here's a funny story: is about Rush 2049. Do you like the soundtrack for Rush 2049?
Yes. Oh my gosh, so much.
Okay, I know the guy who did the soundtrack for Rush 2049. I met him. And his name is Barry Leach. He's a video game composer. He's been around since the Commodore 64 days. And I came across him on MySpace many years ago, probably like 2006, 2005. And I found him. He's like, who the hell is this? And I'm like, believe it or not, Mr. Barry, I'm quite a fan of yours, Barry. And he was just like blown away. He was like, really? People are fans of me?
That's so cool.
And like, it's because of that game that I kind of started getting into it. Like, I was like, oh, this is simple enough. I could probably replicate this because I got into all this through video game music, and that was one of the video games that always stuck out to me. I've been at this for like 10 years now. That's where I started, was with video game stuff. And so if it quite literally hadn't been for the soundtrack to that game, I might not have had I might not have learned a lot of the early lessons that I learned about electronic music. So Barry is someone that I look up to a lot. And now he kind of like, every now and then he like sends something my way that he's working on. Like, Matt, what do you think of this? My kid said I can't do dubstep, but I think differently. What do you think of this?
That is really neat.
I know. So, funny story about Rush 2049. I liked it so much that I became friends with the composer.
That is really neat. I think people in the chat box might be jealous. I'm a little jealous.
He's a cool guy. He's also kind of like a redneck too, but he's like he's from Scotland, but he lives in New York, and he tells me these stories about how he like. Oh, someone's trying to call me, but they don't get to talk to me right now. He tells me the story about how he has like this big car. It's called a Mercury Marauder, which is basically like a big police cruiser that's been souped up from the factory, and it's like got tinted windows and big chrome wheels, and it's got a big, powerful V8 in it. And he talks about how he like there was this guy that he couldn't pass that like cut him off on this dirt road. So like when he took a corner, he like zoomed around him and made it a point to spray mud all over his car as he passed him. You know, it's like, you're a man after my own heart. Not only do you like talk the talk as far as racing game soundtracks go, but you actually drive the cars. So I'm like, all right, Barry, that's cool.
It matches because he did the soundtrack for that game.
Exactly. I hope he like listens to it like as he like drives along. So.
Yeah. He's just like kind of going with the sunglasses on.
Oh my god, no, I don't think. Anyway,
he must.
It must happen.
I think it should happen. He needs to like upload a video, like on YouTube or something, of him doing that.
He's a very private person. He doesn't really. I think he has a YouTube channel, but it's not like Barry Leach official. It's like just some random, like, I don't even remember what it is. He doesn't post music very often. So I think last I heard he was working for Fisher-Price doing like remember years ago there were those Pixter things that came out, the little handheld games.
Oh yeah.
He was doing soundtrack for like the electronic like lullaby machines and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat. I'm trying to think, what other N64 games do you like? I know I'm a really big fan of Conker's Bad Fur Day and Banjo-Kazooie.
I never played those.
No.
I was always into racing games and shooters. So I played Rush 2049, I had Rush 2, First Rush, I had Ridge Racer 64, Cruis'n USA.
Did you play racing?
No, I didn't have that one. I played it, but I wasn't quite as skilled with that one. Like Mario Kart 64, which I don't have a copy of right now. I also played like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Star Fox 64,
oh, nice.
Battle Tanks Global Assaults. That really about sums it up. We rented a lot of games, but there weren't quite as many that I felt compelled to own.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Isn't it weird to see Mario Kart 64?
Hydro Thunder.
Oh, Hydro Thunder, nice.
Hydro Thunder is the other one.
Isn't it kind of weird to see like Mario Kart 64 like basically kind of advance through all the way? Basically, what didn't it go to? It went to the 64. It's on the GameCube. It's on the DS. It's on the Wii now.
Well, I don't have any of those other consoles. I never liked the controller for the GameCube, so I didn't get one.
Mm-hmm.
We got a PS2 instead, and the Wii isn't HD, so I can't get that either because that's the only thing. That's what I like about the 360 and the PS3 is that they're HD. So I like the Wii, but I couldn't own one. So I can't really speak on the progression of Nintendo stuff because the N64 is kind of where I stopped. Oh no, I have a Game Boy Advance, but that's where I stopped.
Oh my gosh, what do you play on the Game Boy Advance?
I didn't play much. I had it briefly, and then I just kind of stopped playing it because I had a lot of old Game Boy games that I kind of wanted to play in color, and then I had the Final Fantasy reboot thing that came out, Final Fantasy 1 and 2. I basically just got all my old Super Nintendo games that I used to play as a kid on the Advance because I wanted to play them again, but not with my TV. So I had Donkey Kong Country 3,
oh, nice.
Yoshi's Island. I don't know. I don't have a whole bunch of games for that because I didn't that was when I was a senior in high school, and I kind of got into college and forgot about my Game Boy. So,
Oh my gosh, we need to like discuss games like outside of the stream sometime because we have a lot of good game things in common. I
well,
appreciate it.
my big thing now is Sega because nobody cares about Sega anymore. So I have my Sega Genesis that I paid $20 for, and like
Ooh.
a crap load of games like Mortal Kombat 2. My roommate's got Street Fighter 2.
Oh,
I've been
Street
buying
Fighter!
buying all these random like sports games for it because nobody cares about sports games anymore apparently. So you can buy these really fun sports games for like $5 and just like go, oh man, World Series baseball, yeah. So
It's true. They're a lot cheaper now. Like at all the retro game stores, they literally just have them just stocked up for like two
wall to
dollars
wall.
each.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Nobody cares about sports games and nobody cares about the Sega. I
it's
don't know why.
sad.
Sega Genesis is a great console. I love it. That's the one of my vintage consoles that I have. That's the only one my roommate and I play pretty consistently is the Sega.
It's kind of sad. I wish they would pay more. I don't know. I just wish it got more
Give it
recognition.
5 more years. Give it a couple more
Yeah,
years, people will care about the Sega again.
exactly. And then I'll start maybe. I don't know. Maybe the price for it will maybe possibly go up. I don't know.
Uh, who knows? Maybe I don't care if the price goes up because I've already got one. So
Very neat. Very, very neat. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's see. I'm gonna go back to my
we've really
question.
gotten back on a tangent now. So just by all means, go just
I
do a
started
180 and we'll
it.
smack where we gotta go.
I started with Portal. I'm sorry.
Portal.
Portal. I love Portal. On my 18th birthday, I got a Portal cake. That was a few years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, I want a Portal cake for my birthday, and I just kind of showed her a picture, and apparently, like, the people at Kroger kind of laughed at her when they showed her the cake. They're like, really? What is
Yeah.
this?
Well, it's based on an actual cake by some bakery out by where the programming developers, where Valve is. So,
Oh, nice. I didn't know.
mhm.
I did not know that.
So you can actually go out to where Valve is, and there's a bakery down the road that actually sells the cake that cake is based on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, no, it's people who go out there, go find the bakery, and they get the cake.
Yeah, they just kind of like referenced a picture. I think they
Mhm.
use like little hot, like the little red hot bowls. I don't know what are they even called.
I think, aren't they like, I don't know, what
Like
are
the
those things?
fireballs or something.
I thought they were cherries.
Oh, I don't know. Well, on my cake they've used like little fireballs
Oh, cute.
because yeah, it was interesting.
Hmm.
It might have been better with cherries.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so do you have like 3 different people who you like to collab with, possibly?
Not really. I don't really. I mean, not to sound like a snob, but I don't really do collabs. They're just really difficult and really stressful for me. Mostly because A, my computer is really old, and B, I use I use software that nobody else uses, and C, when I'm not using the software nobody else uses, I'm using hardware that nobody else has. So it just makes collaborations really difficult to pull off, and so I just don't really bother with them. To be perfectly honest with you, I did the one with Sean with Sako, but it's because we found a good way to split up the work that didn't stress me out and didn't stress him out. We were both able to play on sort of what he's good at and what I'm good at, and
Mm.
that's really the only true collaboration I've done that hasn't involved just like contributing. It's either it's always kind of like the one person does 90% of the work and some one person does 10%. That's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
that's how they've been so far.
Oh
So
no.
people are always like, "Oh, I love the thing you did with yelling at cats and aviators," and I'm like, "Well, I really only did like 5% of the work on that. The rest was all aviators. It wasn't a collaboration. It was just me writing a couple lines."
They just kind of
So
threw it in there, like, oh hey, we did this with D.Notive.
yeah, exactly. Just like, all right. So I don't really do
Alright.
collabs. Maybe I will eventually, but it's not really. I'm not really that interested, to be
Oh yeah.
perfectly honest. So
No, that's fine. I was just, yeah, just kind of curious. A lot of people have different answers for that. And
mhm. Well, I
yeah.
just don't have a lot of free time anyway, so it's kind of hard to like. I mean, it's, the only people I'd really want to work with are like in different time zones. So and they have different schedules. I work full time, so it's difficult to find time to even sit down and talk with someone on Skype.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, no, it's understandable, totally. So, how often do you write music?
mm, that's tough because I go through spurts. I will go 6 months I will go 6 months without doing a single thing, and then suddenly have a month where I do 4 things, and or then I'll have like a month or I'll do one thing a month. I don't know. It's really difficult to say because my schedule, my lifestyle changes so much, and it's difficult to really get a good sense because this last year is even the only year I've been really even dedicated to it. And I've just had so much that's gone on to kind of keep me from it to really give you an accurate answer as far as how often.
No,
I'd
that's
say
understandable.
On average, it's probably once every 2 or 3 months that I come up with something worth pursuing. Maybe once a month.
Mhm.
So
That's understandable. Everyone gets busy, and then once in a while they're like, man, I've got an idea. Oh, I've got another
yeah,
idea, and they're just like in the zone.
yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of like not about music. I guess it's more about ponies. I hope that's
Okay.
okay.
All right. No, it's fine. Oh, fine.
If I must.
Mhm.
All right. So, do you have a favorite pony?
Yes, Rarity.
Rarity. Why is that?
She reminds me of my girlfriend. To be perfectly honest with you, that's why.
That's really cute.
Um, like they're basically the same. It's kind of adorable. It's I didn't realize this at first. She was kind of my favorite at first was Pinkie Pie, and because she also reminds me of my girlfriend, to be honest with you. But she's kind of Rarity Pie. Put them together. So I mean, I don't know. I think I wrote this long. I got an ask about this on my Tumblr like a year ago, and I wrote a really long, complicated explanation as to why. And I think it's because she's the deepest character. Um, she's a deliberate underachiever. She could be in Canterlot making her dresses, but she limits herself to Ponyville. I think she's afraid of failure. I think that's a really human thing to be afraid of.
Mhm.
She has a mask. She has a shell she wears. She's really ostentatious on the outside because she's sensitive and fragile on the inside. And that's also a really endearing human thing to do. Um, those are kind of my two big ones that I was like, she's a complicated character, and I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
She's. Oh, I love Rarity too. She's just such a sweetheart. And a lot
She's
of
perfect.
people, yeah, I agree. I know, like, a lot of people, like, at first, like, oh, Rarity, she's so selfish. But literally, like, her element is generosity. I don't understand.
I think it's just because she it's kind of almost an ironic twist. She's just sort of like she's really selfish on the outside, but it's just sort of like to protect the fact that she's really sensitive and caring and sweet on the inside. She
Hmm.
has layers like an ogre
I was
or an
just
onion.
about to say that. Oh my gosh.
You
Onions have
you just
layers.
you've
Ogres
been
have layers.
you've been Shrek, and apparently ponies have layers too.
Yes, guys. So ponies are like ogres. They have layers.
They have layers.
Okay, so do you have a favorite background pony?
Um, Not particularly. I mean, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the background ones too much. I do. See, she's not a background pony, but she is a secondary character. I also do really like Cheerilee.
Oh, Cheerilee's nice.
She's not a background character, but she's sort of like a secondary character, and she's just kind of delightfully derpy, and I love that about her. Like, oh, Spike, it's your birthday?
That's
Oh,
so
gosh.
adorable. I just have a random hat in my sack here. Here you
Here,
go.
here's my pimp hat. Doop.
I wonder what that was originally going. Like, what was she originally doing with that hat?
We don't need to know.
Oh my. I'm like quite curious. I
I
wonder if that was going to someone special.
maybe it was a preemptive gift for Big Macintosh. I know, maybe. I don't know.
It could have been.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't need to know. I don't want to know.
It's still a mystery.
Do do do.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That's so funny. Okay, so this might be like a hard question, as I know every time when people ask me this, I had to sit there and kind of think about it. Do you have a
Sure.
favorite season?
Um, I think season 2 is my favorite.
Agreed.
I It had the right elements. It was really they had hit their stride. They knew what they were. I mean, not to say that they lost their stride, but it felt cohesive. It felt like season 1 kind of felt like it was sort of stumbling over itself a little bit at first,
Mhm.
and season 2 they hit their stride and kind of figured out what they were going to do. And season 3 is just a little too short for me to really render a judgment on it. So I think season 2. I mean, and season 2 gave us, even though technically it was the end of season 1, season 2 gave us John Delancey, and I can't really argue with that
Yes.
as the massive Star Trek fan that I am. So,
Oh, you're a Trekkie?
oh, definitely. This is the most recent thing I put on my Tumblr. People were comparing the Brony fan or the Star Trek fan, and I'm like, excuse me. The most fan service that Brony's ever got was derpy. We Star Trek fans had a letter writing campaign and got a space shuttle named Enterprise. Check your privileges, please.
Oh man.
Mhm.
Oh my god. That's a little crazy. Like, what were they saying, like, in comparison? Like, just.
I could read it to you, but that would defeat the point of it being on my blog, now wouldn't it?
What? That laugh was so scary. I'm gonna hear that in my dreams tonight.
Nightmare fuel laugh.
I'm going to like tonight. I'm gonna just try to fall asleep, and I'm gonna start hearing that like laugh, and I'm gonna like go up to my like little sisters and like I can't sleep. That's scary.
Right, I won't do it again. I'm sorry.
I'm frightened. Thank you very much. No, I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Do you have like a favorite thing about the fandom itself?
I don't know. I sort of like. I do really enjoy the sense of like. I hate to use the word brotherhood because it's a gendered term because it's obviously not an accurate one. But I mean like camaraderie is the word I'm looking for. The sense of camaraderie, the sense of we're all in this together that I really like, and that was sort of impressed upon me very firmly when I left the convention last July. Or actually, I suppose it was August by that time. No, it was July. Keep reading, it was like 4th of July weekend. It was the same time as Convergence here in Minneapolis. So I left that convention like really was kind of overwhelmed by that sense of camaraderie that we're all sort of like, we're there, man. We're there for you, man.
Yeah, like kind of like a family.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a family, but it is definitely bond. It's an intense and very visceral and important one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There are other things to me that are still more important than the fandom, but
Oh
you know.
yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna like, family's pushing it, maybe, but definitely, I have people that feel like brothers and people that feel like sisters. But I don't. I hope I'm making sense. It's sort of like it's not a dry thing. It's emotional, but it's not really like a familial thing.
No, definitely, it's like you're close, but you're not like crazy obsessed. Like you need them all the time. I
Mm-hmm,
guess,
mm-hmm.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah. It's a support network. It's really nice to have.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. They're always there for you. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. It's true. There are a couple people who I will probably never really lose touch with as a result. I mean, the internet friends come and go. I mean, I have like 400 people on my Skype contact list. I'm obviously not going to stay friends with all of them forever,
Oh my.
So, I mean, there will be a handful of people that stay close that I will carry with me for the rest of my life, hopefully, providing that they don't have any other dramatic changes for them either. I don't know. We'll see. Everyone else is so much younger than me. They have so much more like growing and seasoning to do. So who knows what's going to happen in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so do you have any future projects coming up?
Oh, I do. I've got quite a few things coming down the pike, but I'm not really at liberty to speak about them in detail because then if I start talking about what I've got planned, everyone's going to want to know when it's going to be done. And I really can't say when it's going to be done because I don't honestly know.
That is true. They're like, okay, so when's this gonna be released again? And
Yeah, like
gonna bug you.
because I've gone now that I moved. I bought a house and I live in my studio now basically, and I can kind of live it. But I mean, I still work 40 hours a week, and I've got a social life, and I've got roommates and things to take care of. I have an aquarium now, so I mean, my free time is limited. So I mean, it's kind of like as much as I would love to spend all of my free time down here working on stuff and doing stuff, I just don't always get the chance to do so. So.
Understand, definitely. It's you have to have life outside of ponies and projects.
Well, and outside of the studio, for that matter. Like I said, as much as I would love to be down here all the time, like I got a bunch of things done during Christmas. In fact, the apology, the last song I did, I had recorded around Christmas time, but it took me a long time just to finally finish it. And the only reason I got all that stuff done was because I deliberately took off like a week and a half from work, so I could just live down here and stay in my house for 3 or 4 days at a time and just get a bunch of stuff done.
Oh yeah.
So.
Very nice. So how did this is kind of like different-ish too? I don't know. Like how did you get in contact with AC Race Fest for Brony's React?
He found me, to be perfectly honest. We talked about this moment. He was kind of like, I was like, so he was basically just looking for people that had a good camera and that looked good on camera and that were kind of funny. And I guess I sort of squeaked by on that criteria. Sort of like, yeah, I guess. He looks like he could be entertaining. And that's really about all there was to it. He just like sent me a message on YouTube like, hey, I'm doing this thing. I want to be part of it. And I was thinking like, who the hell is this guy?
Just random person.
I know. Well, at that point, it was sort of like, I hate to use the word like, famous, but I mean, at that point, nobody really knew who I was. So I was getting a lot less of these random people messaging me asking for favors. So I was kind of like, okay, well, all right, that sounds like it could be fun. What do I have to do? And he sent me like this like script of questions and like directions on like where to look and what kind of tone I should have. And I was like, all right, all right. So I mean, that was really about the extent of it. And we've kind of been. There's actually another Brony's React I should be working on right now, but I haven't had a chance to. So
Oh yeah, it's gonna be coming out pretty soon.
yeah, I really should film my footage of that tonight if he's gonna get it done this week. So
Yes, that's what he said. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm excited
he's
for that.
he's probably really mad at me. So maybe we shouldn't talk about him anymore.
He's just like,
It's always me. I'm always the last one. I mean,
oh
it's because
no,
I feel like it is anyway. And last time I was the last one because every time I uploaded it to him, it never went through properly.
oh gosh, derps everywhere.
Pretty much. And also, it's like 45 minutes of footage, so I had to trim it down before I could send it to him properly.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate your parts on the first Brony's React. I still kind of stand by them. Yeah, because you saw me that one time when I randomly posted one of your quotes as my status.
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, because you commented like, "I'll always be labeled."
Yeah, yeah. I know. Okay. Here's the problem too. I go to the local meetups, and nobody knows me as a musician. They're always like, "Hey, you're that guy from Brony's React," and I'm like, "Yep, that's me." So,
oh my god!
like, nice to meet you.
It hurts secretly.
I'm like, stabbing myself repeatedly.
I'm so sorry. I felt so bad. Like, I legitimately thought you were upset. Like, well, I guess I'll always be labeled with this.
No, I wasn't actually upset. I approached with a sense of humor, but still, it's just kind of like, this again. Because that became a cliche for the longest time. And it's like, I thought we were past this now. I thought I'd done other things, but nope. Guess
I mean,
not.
yeah, it's, it's older, but I don't know, I guess I just kind of re-looked at it or something, and I'm like, that quote will never get old, so I just, like, randomly posted it. Like, this is the best quote in the entire video, I swear. Like, I know, it's crazy.
Like, good sir, I see you from the other side of the street as well. We can foray to the dance floor and be the other side of the street together.
That was the best. Along with the, about the Brony babies and the Brony families.
Oh God! See, the thing is, I was just rambling at that point, and I didn't think he was gonna put it in, and he did, and I was like, oh God, why is this in here? I sound like a moron.
No, not at all. I thought that was so true. Like, I'm sitting there like, power of the people, this is gonna happen. All the Brony boys and all the Brony girls are gonna get together and make Brony babies. Like, this is gonna happen. Like, I agree. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it sounds kind of horrifying and kind of wonderful at the same time. So.
Brony families all get together and they're just taking over the world.
All the children in their like little outfits, all matched.
Like the big suits, like the ones that you get at the conventions, like the hoodies and stuff. I've seen them before. Like there's like little kids walking around. Yeah,
it's 9/11. Bronyism evolves into a cult.
Oh God. I could actually say that. I mean, they've said a lot of things about us. I wouldn't doubt they would have said that about us.
No, my dad was telling me, like, yeah, they had the thing on the news the other night. They didn't know what to make of it. And I'm like, they never do.
Yeah, exactly. They never do. They're just like, oh, grown men ponies. Men, children!
Whatever. I temper it by being into a lot of other things because that's just the truth. So I have a lot of other hobbies beyond just that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So when I have crap up from all these things at work, nobody really cares. It's just kind of like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You have diecast cars, and you have Tom Baker, you have a Star Trek poster, and you have a pony on your desk. Cool, whatever.
That sounds like a really fun life.
Yeah, it's Doctor Who, Star Trek, cars, and ponies. I mean, come on.
Oh, okay. So you do like Doctor Who?
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the new season though.
Okay. Who's your favorite Doctor?
I don't think I'm not completely over losing Christopher Eccleston yet. I'm honest. I have to be honest about it.
Really?
I really liked 9. Not to say 10 wasn't great either. And I also really like 7.
Fantastic.
7's my other favorite.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I definitely. This is a hard one. I really like 9 too. Like, I was really sad. That episode was so sad too. I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
He was my first. You always love your first.
Yeah, exactly. He was definitely fantastic, and I'm gonna keep saying fantastic till people laugh in the chatty box.
Exactly.
They're like, okay, Emily, just stop. I mean,
Just stop.
yeah. Oh, sorry. I think, I don't know. I think the reason a lot of people really like the 10th Doctor, to be honest, it was probably more of the female fan base because he
Well, no,
looks
that's not
nice.
true because the thing is, David Tennant's actually a fan, so it was like his dream come true to be the Doctor, and you could see it. And when he was in the role, he really loved it. So
Yeah, I mean, you can
that's
tell
what's
that
great about it.
definitely.
Like Matt Smith and Christopher Eccleston are not; they were not fans of the show beforehand. So I think it kind of shows.
Mhm.
But that's just me.
Oh yeah, no, I do see like he definitely seems a lot more excited.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's yeah. If I had to pick a favorite, that's hard. Maybe the 11th, just because he's really funny. I like humor.
I cosplayed as the 11th a couple times. It was fun.
Are you serious?
Completely.
Oh my gosh, I actually want to cosplay the 11th Doctor.
Do it.
I think I will, but I gotta go get a sonic screwdriver. I think they have a green one at Hot Topic.
Yep, I've got a green one I ordered off of Amazon a couple of years ago, or whenever it was that season had just come out, and I remember everyone had a fez, and I was like, I don't want to be another guy with a fez, so I got the real thick Ray-Ban sunglasses, like the Doctor in the Hungry Earth.
Oh yeah,
I was like, yeah, I want to be the Doctor wearing sunglasses. It's no question about it. So
very nice. Do you have any
Mhm.
pictures? Do you have any pictures
I
on
do.
Facebook? Oh
There
man.
are pictures on Facebook. If you dig back to the summer of 2011, then you should find pictures of me dressed up as the Doctor with my sunglasses on. So.
I'm gonna definitely look for that,
Well,
right?
the interview that Final drafted with me, that's the picture he used of me for the YouTube video, so
Oh my god, are you serious?
completely.
That is so funny. Oh,
Hmm.
draft.
Yeah. He only lives like 20 minutes from me, right?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he lives in St. Well, he's moving to Vancouver, as apparently his plan, but right now he lives in St. Paul.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
That is really neat.
Yeah, he's never been to my house. We've never really hung out. I invited him over to my housewarming party. He never showed up, so...
Draft.
Draft! Ah!
Draft. I'm gonna come get you. He's probably gonna listen to this and be like, laughing.
He'll listen to it later and be like, Ugh!
I'm never coming to your housewarming parties.
Someone in the stream said he's a bum, and I agree.
Wait.
He's a bum.
He's a bum. I saw someone say Kanye Draft.
Kanye Draft.
What? That is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see. So that's all the questions I have. I do want to give people in the chatty box a quick, an opportunity to ask you a question if they want to. So,
Yes, it was a Flash Gordon reference.
oh, okay.
Someone asked.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Let's see. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions for D.Notive here,
Mm-hmm.
ask right now in the chatty box because
Well,
it's...
forever hold thine peace.
Yes, exactly. Ask or forever hold your peace. Why not A-Notive?
Oh God. Okay.
Cliff.
Well, first of all, it's all lowercase, and okay. I see the questions coming in. So first of all, it's all lowercase, and to be perfectly honest with you, it all started because I couldn't think of what to name myself after I sort of abandoned my previous band and pseudonym. And I thought of this idea of making words with a D prefix, just dropping the E and having a dot instead because it would still be pronounced the same. And I tried to think of words that would sound good. So I bounced around between a couple like destruct and death note, goofy stuff like that. And then I came across the word D.Notive, which means someone or something that is capable of naming or defining things. And I thought it was just sort of wonderfully ironic that I was completely unable to give myself a name and that I should name myself thusly. So that's where it came from.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Alright,
So
let's
then,
see.
what inspired me to do the Bee Gees nod? Actually, do you want to read me the questions? I can just see them.
Oh no, yeah, you can just, if you just read them and then answer them, that'd be cool too. Since we're both kind of checking them out.
That's true. So the Bee Gees nod wasn't intentional. I really like the Bee Gees a lot. They're one of my favorite groups and probably a real solid inspiration. And I heard the rhythm of the song and I just kind of started humming the lyrics. I was like, from inside and out, and I'm kind of like, baby, I can't figure it out. Your kisses taste like honey. And I'm like, you know what? I like that rhythm, and I'll just kind of throw those first couple words in there just to make the nod apparent because that was kind of what was on my mind at the time, and that's what I went with. So
Nice.
let's.
Has
Or
anyone ever said your singing voice is similar to Weird Al's?
yes, they have. It's really apparent when I did Cerulean Blue because I have a very nasally timbre, and usually I can kind of equalize that out a bit and make it less apparent. But because someone else was mixing my vocals, it really really stood out. Especially since I double tracked it, which made it worse. And it's probably also to do a lot with my microphone. I really don't have a good microphone. I have a super cheap microphone. It's on my list of things to replace, but it's not high priority. So
Oh
like I
no,
said,
yeah.
I can usually compensate by doing a good equalization, but anyway. Or of course, Orm Noah wants to know if I've had any luck finding a D50. I'm going to say no, and I'm not really in the market for a D50 either. Um, anyway, I bought a TG77. I don't need a D50. As great as it would be to have a D50, I just want to get a Roland V-Synth with a D50 chip and call it good. So I hope that answers his question. That's probably way more in depth than anyone's really going to get. So, what else? I don't see anything else.
Let's see.
Of all the creations, which am I most proud of? That's tough because I feel like every move forward is every new one I do is a move forward. It's like a step forward. So I mean, I don't
Bad
know.
Cliff.
I really like. I think the apology probably is the most one I'm most proud of so far. I think it was a stylistic new direction for me, something I've been meaning to do but haven't been able to pull off until now. So I'm really pleased with it, and I can listen to it over and over and over again and not be sick of it, which is usually a good sign. Up until that previously, it was Vicious Lies. So yeah.
Yeah, I really like the apology.
Thank you. I haven't. Nobody's really done proper R&B, proper old school R&B. So I really had decided a long time ago I needed to give it a go, but I didn't have the right idea to go with. So.
Mhm.
And Solrak's butt or your butt? What a question.
I know that's strange.
I think we need to do a really in-depth point-by-point comparison before I can really
Okay.
answer that question.
Yeah, well, you'll see me at BronyCon, and you'll see him at BronyCon, we'll be together, and you can sit there and
Perfect.
kind of think, yeah, exactly, like,
Hmm.
Yeah, because there's this thing where, I don't know if it was Cliff or Sarge, one of them, they both started it. They were saying, oh, I'm gonna touch Sork's butt tomorrow when he gets here, and I'm like, please don't, like, because they know, we were together before we announced it. I'm like, please don't touch his butt, I really would appreciate it. Like, oh, we're gonna do it, we're gonna get a bunch of people to do it, and they, like, literally, like, they started, like, trending, like, Solrak's butt, just to get everyone to touch it at the convention, and I was so
Oh,
upset, and
gross.
I
Gross.
know, I'm like, no, like, stop it! Oh yeah, Eric did it, Sandra's boyfriend. I'm like, guys, please, like, I kept getting behind him, like, protecting his butt, like, please stop touching his butt, please. It was very uncomfortable.
I just saw another question. Someone said that because I mentioned Future Pop and EBM,
Oh yeah.
if I still follow it and there are any bands I particularly like. Well, V&V Nation was sort of always my introduction gateway drug to Future Pop and EBM. And Neurotic Fish. And Assemblage 23. I had actually had a chance to see Assemblage 23 when Tom Shear came to town a couple months ago over the summer. Colony 5. There's a whole bunch. Because the thing about EBM and Future Pop is they're kind of interchangeable. They all sound the same to a certain extent. Psych is another good one. Just heard that Neurotic Fish is back. Be Born in Baton. I think they're not really around anymore. But, yeah, there's a lot of sort of I call like cheap EBM, but it's really just old EBM and a lot of Future Pop stuff that I still really like. Oh, Imperative Reaction also as well. I love Imperative Reaction. Is great. They're like electronic punk music. It's fantastic. So.
Very nice. Right. Are there any other? Let's see. Chattybox.
Chattybox.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She said Chattybox. Every time like a guest says Chattybox, I get really happy.
Chattybox. The box of chats.
Yes. 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 Yes.
If I could do a big project, what would I do? I would actually. Well, my plan, what I'd like to do eventually, is just work as a producer and get into working as a producer for other artists. And so a big project that I would like to do, take on someday, is I'd like to produce someone else's album, start to finish, work with a band, sit down with them, and just like brainstorm and create. And yeah, I think that's kind of what I'd like to go for in the future, is just sort of working with other individuals and other artists and sort of giving them a voice and giving them a sound and creating something. So
Okay, I'm gonna assume. I think we should do this. Honestly, I think you, Acoustic Brony, and I, or Ed rather, whatever you want, and we should all do like make a song. Apparently, everyone's asking for this. Everyone says we should make a song out of Ed.
Well, it'd be really simple because I could just sample Ed and then just like like loop it. Like as a Ed, Ed,
Yeah.
Ed, 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 Ed,
Are you able
Ed,
to like
Ed.
change the tune to it and everything?
I don't know. I could. I'm not that good at
Oh,
doing these crazy things. All these crazy fun things that kids do now. So
you can do the loop of that, and then I can do like a tune because I can do like a soprano and.
there you go. And you can go Ed, 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 Ed. Perfect.
And yeah, that'd be cool. We can get a beat going on, and that'd be so cool, guys. This is gonna be like the next hit on YouTube.
Let's see.
Sounds like a Smarter remix.
That can happen. So I see a couple more questions.
That's like the oh god.
I will not be performing at BronyCon, even though I will probably be there. And would I do more R&B? Absolutely. But my thing is I love 80s R&B because I grew up and I live in Minneapolis, and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are from here, and they did Prince and Janet Jackson and the SOS Band, and that's kind of their jam, and it's my jam too. And got a whole stack of vinyl of this old school R&B from the mid 80s, and that's kind of what I would love to do.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And Yins wants to know what kind of car I drive. I've got two cars. My project car is a 1976 Datsun 280Z Coupe, which I've been working on for about 7 years. And my other one, I have a little Saturn SL that I just kind of putts around in the snow. And I'm not sure what Mini Applejack means about production on stage shows, but...
I'm not sure. Let's see. Favorite pie? Like, you guys are running out of questions, I have a feeling.
I know. I feel like it's like... Have I ever hung out with Draft or Jay Holler? Draft, yes. Jay Holler, I don't think I've ever met.
Yeah. Really, guys? Favorite cake? Come on. Portal cake!
Nope. not answering any of those silly questions. That's ridiculous.
Come on, guys. You guys are crazy. What is the meaning of life?
Well, then.
What genre would you like to do?
I feel like I've kind of done a lot of what I want to do, but I feel like I want to go back and do them better. I want to do more ballads. I'd really like to try and do a rock song. I have a guitar, pretty decent fake bass, and decent fake drums. It'd be great to really try to do like a pop punk kind of thing. So actually, also, my guilty pleasure right now is Fall Out Boy. I don't really listen to that kind of music a lot, but it's kind of like, all right, I really like their new single, and I do kind of like some of their older songs, and it might be fun to try something like that just once, just to do it. So stylistically and genre-wise, I'd like to do something like that. So,
that'd be pretty cool. Alright, let's see. Paleo asks, okay, so since you went to school for film, did you ever have intentions to make a movie idea you've had?
Oh, funny question. I actually have a feature-length screenplay that I wrote a couple of years ago. It's 117 pages. I've been meaning to sort of revise a few scenes in it. It would be great to produce it someday. I did go to school for film, and I always intended to write it as the first part of a trilogy. So there could be more. I definitely have a creative writing side to me that I could explore in the future.
That is really neat. Let's see. Do you use a Mac or a PC to produce your music?
A PC. I actually use Windows XP right now. It's so old, so...
Oh, no, that's totally fine. You definitely don't want to get a Windows 8 like I have it. It's horrible.
The best I would do is Windows 7. I really do like Windows 7, which is what I'll probably go to. Because I use Cakewalk Sonar, and to use Sonar X2, I'd need to have Windows 7 at least, so...
Okay, let's see. Come on, guys. We gotta ask questions about his music, not like Minecraft.
My opinion... Yeah, I'm not a gamer, so asking me questions on Minecraft would be really moot. I already kind of said what my feeling on collaborations, though. I don't really do
That was earlier, guys.
And someone wants to know my favorite musical. I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this, but I really honestly don't like musicals that much.
That's okay.
I like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and West Side Story, but that's really about it. I mean, the producers to some extent, but I mean, I as a theater snob, my issue with musicals is that they always broke fourth wall, and I'm like, no, we cannot break the fourth wall. We cannot break the wall. It is there for a reason. So,
I definitely, yes, I know what you mean. It's confusing.
mm. And it's just
Okay.
kind of like, the musical just kind of encourages the stage performers to interact with the audience a little too much, and it's kind of like pantomiming, and that's my inner performance artist purist is like, that is such a it steams me.
It steams you.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Do I have or do I intend to get any analog synthesizers? Well, funny story. I technically have two, well, at least one. The microKORG kind of counts as an analog synthesizer, and the Alesis Micron also sort of counts, even though they have chips in them to sort of help me store my patches. But from what I remember, they are technically considered analog synthesizers, at least the microKORG is. But I do have sort of a fetish for digital ones as well, which is why I have the Yamaha TG77 and the Roland Delta Juno 2. So that's, I don't know, I really like that. But I'd love to have, I'd love to have an ARP 2600 someday, if only because they're so legendarily regarded in the beginning of synthesizer music. So, like, pretty much all the percussion on the very first Depeche Mode album was done with an ARP 2600, and Vince Clarke definitely used one a lot for a lot of erasure and yazoo. So the ARP 2600 is also reasonably portable. I've kind of got a space for one back here in the studio where I could put one someday, maybe, if I'm lucky. So that's what I'd love to have.
That'd be really cool.
If you ever see one in person, they're just kind of, they're kind of intimidating because they're so big and they're just covered with knobs and dials. But I love that. Actually, I saw one in person when I brought my Roland in to get fixed. They had one in the shop. I'm like, the College of St. Catherine just gave it to us. It wasn't working, and now it's ours, and we fixed it. And I'm just like,
Beautiful.
They're blue, so.
Oh wow. I kind of want to look at this. I want to search it up.
You should. It's quite nice.
Okay, guys. Let's see. What was the name of the music program you use again?
Cakewalk Sonar.
Cakewalk Sonar. Alright, let's see. We're going to wrap up questions soon, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to be that time, so.
Exactly. So we'll take, like, maybe 2 more questions. Alright.
Paleo wants to know what's in my aquarium, so that's, and as he's a water creature enthusiast, he deserves to know. I've got 5 tiger barbs, I've got a rainbow shark, a couple of zebra danios, and I have a fiddler crab at the bottom living in a little air pocket. That's about it so far, though.
That's adorable.
Little 15-gallon. Not a big, little freshwater thing.
Okay, let's see. You can pick out the last one, definitely.
Okay, well, let's see here. I don't know, I can't really see.
Which one? Yeah, like whichever question you feel like asking, or answering.
What aspects in the Pony songs appeal to me? I think it's because I had to contend with just a limited context, because I have to make something out of nothing, and then I have to limit it to a context that sort of is, it has to stay within the context of what happens in the show, or it has to expand on it somehow. And so I have to like work within this very confined space to make something that makes sense. And I like that because it's a nice intellectual challenge. You can't just write a song with a bunch of like random love lyrics and like some love, 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 and whatever else they sing about on Top 40. I pay attention, but not too much. So it's always about never, ever, ever getting back together and partying all night long and everybody shuffling. So it's kind of nice to think about things in a different context from time to time. So.
Yeah. Alright, so Sweetie Bella. Okay. Sorry, I was reading deep.
You're reading the comments?
Yes, I am. I'm reading the comments from the chatty box. The box of the chats. Alright, okay guys, so that was the last question. I don't want to like bombard you with like a million other questions because I know people...
There have been a lot of questions like that in that very, very last like little push, like, oh man, this is the last one, quickly, everybody ask a question.
Yeah, they're like, go, go, go. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, oh my gosh, thank you so
Should have asked those
much.
questions earlier, young people.
Exactly, guys. Come on.
Now I get to be indignant and go, ha,
You lose.
good day.
I said good day.
So,
Alright, so I thank you so much for coming on to Pegasisters Live. I really appreciate it.
oh, it was a delight, absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and Chatty Box, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm sure they all thank you very much for coming on here. They all were very excited to hear from you.
Oh, it was a pleasure, honestly, and you're so nice too. So it's really not it's not a difficult decision. It's just finding the time to do it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, it was just like all scheduling. Like, okay, we've got to figure this out.
And, well, I thought I'd work it out where there wouldn't be anybody home tonight, but I underestimated their determination to get back into town before we get like a huge snowstorm tomorrow. I guess.
Oh my.
Yeah, apparently like the next couple of hours we're gonna get a whole bunch of snow here. So I don't know what's gonna happen now.
Oh my gosh.
Now I got a guy from Sears coming tomorrow to talk to me about getting a new furnace, and luckily I don't have to go anywhere. So that's all there is.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You can just stay indoors. And...
Yeah, Sunday and Monday are my not working days, so I can just stay in town or stay
Same.
stay in the house.
Yeah, Sunday I usually work in the morning usually, but around the evening it's like when I'm prepping, and then Monday is usually my day off, ironically.
Perfect.
Yes, it's very nice. Everyone's like all the youngins are at school and everyone's working, and I'm at home kicking it.
Yeah, same. I mean, my roommates are the same way though, so it's kind of like, oh man, I never really get to be alone. It's
I'm so sorry.
all right. Not your fault, right? I mean, come on.
Alright, so I think we're gonna do our little awkward goodbye thing, and so
All right, that's cool. It's fine. It's fine.
what?
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's fine.
I'll give you a hug at BronyCon. Does that
All
sound
right,
good?
that sounds wonderful. I'm sure
Yes.
I will try to remember to do the objective side by side comparison,
Oh
and
my.
then we'll do the.
Okay. Are you gonna tell us like who? You're gonna like?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see how Solrak feels about it.
Oh god. Or me. I mean, you could always pick Sorks, but over mine.
That's true. I could do that. It would have to be a very objective decision though. I can't do it sight unseen.
It's hard. It's definitely. I understand. You can tell me on Facebook. We don't want to get anyone offended.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
All right.
alrighty. Well, I'm
Well,
gonna get going, but it's been really great to talk to you guys, and I really appreciate all the questions, and thanks for taking some time for me.
yeah, no problem at all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome.
All right. Bye.
Good night.
Good
Good night, everyone.
night. Alright, Chatty Box, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys so much. Tune in next week. I'm going to have on Chaotic Brony, and he is like the really nifty guy on Twitter, and he makes really nice jewelry. You might know him from he's at a lot of conventions, so definitely tune in next week when we're gonna talk to him. So thank you so much, guys. I love you guys so much. Bye, Chatty Box. Love you. Bye.